I think the best parenting advice that and it's funny because I relate this to our marriage again. I think the best parenting advice I could give anyone is whatever you want to see within your children, and the characteristics or the actions they put forth on a daily basis. It's being willing to do those things ourselves. It's so funny because I think I've struggled with this too, and I see a lot of people do. It's like, how do I help them? And I go, by helping yourself. And that's the same thing that I would see within our kids. I heard this thing where someone was like, how do I get my kids to read? It's like, well, you read. It's what becomes normal in the home. And so it's being willing to adopt whatever it is that you want your kids to adopt in your life. And being patient, being patient because, remembering that we were 5 years old one time too, and our parents were maybe frustrated with us. And so going back to what I talked about before with being able to see life through their shoes or through their eyes, is knowing that we were once 3 years old and didn't understand, and we were once at that point where we were seeing the world for the first time and seeing, experiences for the first time. Again, like sometimes people could be frustrated with, come on, tie your shoe faster, hurry up. It's like, well, there was a time where you were also frustrating watching tying your shoe, And so I'd say that's the best parenting advice I could give, is just putting yourself in their shoes and remembering you were at that point at some point in your life and being patient. And like for Kulia and I, we believe for our kids that our responsibility is to love them and to guide them in the right direction. It's not our responsibility to choose where they want to go with their life, and it's to teach them, the proper principles and the foundation of what it's like to be a good person, and to guide them. But ultimately, it's to be patient and let them grow on their own journey, because their journey is totally different than our journey was, and they're going to have they have different parents than we had. They're going to have a different childhood than we had, and so. Yeah, I would say that's it.
Yeah, I just think we understand that our kids are going to be kids for this long, and they're going to be adults for this long, and so to really be able to model what we want them to see, and be, right? And so that's really what we saw, just being the example, being able to be the heroes in our kids' home, so they don't have to go look for heroes outside of the home. But exampleship is the best thing.
Yeah, and going back to having standards for your children, but also grace with standards. Too much standards, again, I think you'll cause your kids to want to rebel and not want to be around you. And then having too much grace, I think, will cause them to not be prepared to be successful in their life and to be the very best version of themselves. And so it's finding that balance between here's the standard, but helping them with grace along the way to rise to those standards. Because I believe they can, as long as you're willing to be patient and have grace with them.
Yeah.